Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing great. 2024 has seemed to become the year of the lawsuits, and Kanye West is now part of the people that's been sued in 2024. A former employee of Donda's Academy by the name of Trevor Phillips has filed a lawsuit and accused Kanye West of being anti-black racism, along with some other things he put in his filing against Kanye West. I'm going to show you some videos, and then I will come back to
this lawsuit. It was filed out in Los Angeles by a man named Trevor Phillips, who worked at Donda Academy. And Phillips is suing West, Donda Academy, West's Yeezy entities, and 1 to 100 unnamed co-defendants for discrimination, hostile work environment, retaliation, labor code violations, wrongful termination, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and breach of contract. He claims that West treated black staff worse than white staff, and in particular targeted Phillips, a black man, and showed him, quote, complete and utter disdain. Quote, Phillips also witnessed Kanye spew forth hate, profess anti-Semitic tropes and lies, threaten the LGBTQ community, and even on one occasion almost sexually stimulate himself. Already at a disadvantage because of his skin color, once Phillips pushed back against Kanye's bigotry and instructions to violate the law, he became an even bigger target. And then he goes on to say that in return, Kanye responded, without mercy, with incessant harassment, humiliation, and attempts to both mentally control and destroy Phillips. Goes on to say, quote, Kanye's ill will towards the plaintiff ultimately culminated in a vulgar lashing in front of school children and their parents. Kanye even threatened Phillips with physical violence. Kanye allegedly told the VIC, quote, I can't have you guys working without paying you. And according to Phillips, Kanye then told the team that he expected them to work 60 to 80 hours a week and promised to pay them $100 per hour. However, Phillips says that Kanye ultimately paid Phillips substantially less than $100 per hour. Back in October of 2022, you might remember that Kanye tweeted to his tens of millions of followers, quote, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Phillips says shortly thereafter, Twitter removed the statement, locked Kanye out of his account, and then he doubled down on that rhetoric in a series of interviews saying things like, quote, Jewish underground media mafia, and how, quote, every celebrity has Jewish people in their contract. Quote, Jared Kushner is an example of how the Jewish people have their hand on every single business that controls the world. Businesses had cut ties with him like Gap, CAA, Adidas. And then we learn in this lawsuit that a landlord for one of the Donda Academy properties actually broke the lease with Kanye West. And he claims that West allegedly spewed Jewish conspiracy theories at Donda Academy. And Phillips, on several occasions, says that he witnessed Kanye preach to his staff obscenities such as, quote, the Jews are out to get me, and, quote, the Jews are stealing all my money. Phillips claims that this, quote, dangerous rhetoric continued in front of school children, no less. He alleged that West started to openly discuss how he only likes to date white women in front of the children, and then told the 2 school children that were in front of him that he wanted to shave their heads, that he intended to put a jail at the school, and that they could be locked in cages. Phillips also claims that West told employees in a meeting that no staff could be fat, otherwise they would be fired. West allegedly barks back, no, he is fired, don't defend him. Then, West allegedly grabs the hotel phone and tells the operator, quote, I asked you to put on Batman, come put on Batman now. Yes, the 2022 Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. So then Phillips recounts that the hotel staff put the movie on for West, and West basically mutes the movie, and he and Phillips watch it in complete silence. West then just breaks the silence by going into an unprovoked tirade against Jewish people, calling them miserly. West allegedly said, these Jews are greedy. I hate Jewish people. Adidas did me wrong. And then he said, allegedly, Hitler was great. Hitler was an innovator. He invented so many things. He's the reason we have cars. So then Phillips says that he responded with, well, if Hitler was so great, then what about the Holocaust? West allegedly responds with, that was fake. He goes on to say Hitler was a good person. The Jewish people are bad, and they run America, and Chinese people run them. The Zionist Jews are out to get me. They are a part of human sex trafficking. The Jews are working with Adidas to freeze up my money to try and make me broke. The Jews can't stop me. Adidas can't stop me. I will be the richest person in the world. You look like Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, you look like her, but not like that. You were handsome like in a Lenny Kravitz type of way. So Phillips says that he was very uncomfortable during all of this, but then says it only got weirder. Quote, just a few moments later, while lying flat on the bed and staring up at the ceiling, Kanye began to make slow up and down motions with his hand just above his genitals, as though he was, you know what I'm talking about here. According to Phillips, West then says how he used to have multiple sex parties a day and how he can't even lay down without pleasuring himself. And then West allegedly said, quote, I got to keep my hand away from my phone to keep me away from looking at pornos. Phillips explains, though, that the conversation didn't just stick to Jewish people and sex. No, he says that Kanye then began threatening the LGBTQ community. Kanye said, quote, yeah, I am going for the gays. First the Jews, then the gays. Gay people are not true Christians, and gay people are controlled by Bill Gates so that they don't have children for population control. A security guard once allegedly said to Phillips, quote, he loves white people, but why does he hate us? And Phillips alleges that West once demanded a black campus security guard shave his dreads or threaten that he would be fired. Ultimately, that security guard resigned. I am so grateful you gave my mom this opportunity and me this opportunity for work. And then he points to this large growth on his neck, actually provided a picture of it embedded in the lawsuit. And he tells West, I have this lump on my neck that my doctors have been trying to diagnose, and I have no idea what it is. I know that this job could be my last. It could be my legacy. So I come every day and put my everything into it. My daughter goes to school here, my little brother. I want to make a difference here. Now, from there, he claims that West rushed close to his face, started yelling so hard that his neck and face veins bulged, and said, quote, F you, raised his hands, pointed at Phillips' neck, and screamed, F your neck, then pointed at the school and said, and F your daughter, I don't give an F about none of that. Quote, by this time, nearly all the people attending the service were watching, over 100 people. It included not only Phillips' own mom and daughter, but also Kanye's own friends, such as rap producer 88 Keys. I was going to punch you in the face. Even allegedly turned to his project manager named Jake and said, quote, I was going to punch him, huh, Jake? And Phillips says that in response, Jake looked down and just shook his head. So Phillips asked, why? How are you going to hurt and punch me? What did I ever do? And in one of the strangest things that I have heard, not only in a lawsuit, but just in quite some time, Phillips alleges that, quote, Kanye paused, briefly went on his phone, then imitating the celebratory dance of Mario from the famous video game Super Mario Brothers, Kanye jumped up with punching one fist in the air while he said, I'm going to give you one more chance, another life, check your phone now. And Phillips actually embeds the picture of Super Mario in the complaint, by the way. And from there, he talks about how West had wanted him to work on this farming project, but West allegedly texted him, you're fired, you're not on that level.
As you see with this lawsuit that Trevor Phillips has filed against Kanye West, everything right now is just basically alleged. But unfortunately for Kanye, because of a lot of his behavior that has been on public display and is public record, it can be easy for people to believe these allegations to be true. You know, we won't know that they're true or not until they actually go to court. But, you know, he's been on video saying what is considered, I'm going to say that, what is considered to be anti-Semitic. He has said things, you know, like slavery was a choice. And so it would be easy for people to say, okay, it might be some truth to what Trevor is saying in his lawsuit. And so you have to be careful, especially when you're in his position, of the things that you say and how you say them. You can say something to a person as far as, I don't like this person, or I don't like the behavior of that person. You can say it in one way, or you can say it in a way that can be taken as being either racism, anti-Semitic, or anti-gay, or whatever they might take it as, of you being hateful. There's a way to say things and there's a way not to say things. And with Kanye, he has a tendency to just blurt out how he's feeling at that moment with no filter. And so I want to read something to you. I want to read scripture to you, and then I want to show you another video. Matthew 6:24 ESV. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Kanye West seems to be more money focused, even though he said in the past that he was a Christian, but he seemed to be, his mind, his attitude, everything seemed to be driven by the quest to be the richest black man in the world. That seemed to be his focus. That seemed to be his quest. And I think that's getting in the way of what relationship he could have with God, or he can have with God, if he chooses to put God first. And so I'm going to show you a video, like I said, and then I'm going to come back after this video.
We know more about Tazariak and his beliefs. The only question now is, do Kanye's new beliefs line up with his? Well, let's go ahead and listen to a snippet from his conversation with Kanye.
I love that journey. I see you're switching. And then from watching the Drink Champs video, you made a statement to say that, we're the Jews too. So, like, where did that part come from? Was it something that you learned from, like, the Jewish people? Or is this something that you learned from your own side? And where do you intend to take that part?
When I went on Alex Jones, it's interesting. He talked about this. It's so funny. You wouldn't expect Alex Jones to specifically back up that thought and that theory. I would read the Bible. I'm looking at the location of the Bible, and I wouldn't visited Buju Banton, and I'm getting different people's perspectives on Christ. I have my boy Mickey Halsted also shares these same beliefs. And my question is, why are we the only people that don't have a flag? Well, obviously, our existence was erased. Those slave ships was real, bro. We are the Jew, and they are Jewish, like that of a Jew.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you wanted to hear that? I'm already canceled, right? So I can say stuff like that.
So it seems that they do, in fact, agree that blacks are the true Israelites, and it definitely seems plausible that their views have contributed to Kanye's recent hostility towards Jewish people. But is this the only belief that Kanye has in common with them? And if so, is there many more to come? If not, what other things does Kanye agree with them on? And most importantly, has Kanye abandoned the truth of the gospel message for the false gospel message of Tazariak and the Black Hebrew Israelites? I don't have those answers, but one thing for certain is that these are definitely influences that Kanye does not need right now.
Is it okay to hate?
Yes.
So as you've seen with that video, he has been going in the direction of Black Israelites. And you cannot be a Christian as well as be a Black Hebrew Israelite. They do not go together. It's either you're a Christian or you're not. And so you can't say I am a Christian, but I'm going on the path of being a Black Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Christian, but I'm also going on the path of whatever other religion is out there. Those two religions do not mix. You cannot mix Christianity with any other religion. And this is something that we as Christians truly need to understand. If you're going to be for Christ, if you're going to be for God, if you're going to be for Jesus, that's the path you have to walk on, regardless of whatever else is going on out there in the world, or how people try to use the Bible to make their point when it comes to other things. I don't have any problem with people exploring, people asking questions, people trying to figure out and find out. But that still should not take you off the path of being a Christian. I have questions, I have concern. I look at the Bible and question certain things I'm reading, but it doesn't take me off the path of saying, maybe I should go in this direction towards another religion. Maybe I should try out another religion and see if it works for me. The last video I showed about Kanye, he stated that, he doesn't have time to pray because Jesus did not give him what he wanted, when he wanted it, and basically how he wanted it. When we become Christian, we submit ourselves to God. We submit ourselves to the kingdom. Everything we do at that point becomes kingdom focused and not selfish focused, not self-centered focused, not what can I get out of the deal, but what can we give? How can we serve? How can we be a help to the kingdom in order for the kingdom to grow? I want to read one more thing, then show you another video. John 10:26-30, ESV. But you do not believe because you are not among my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father who is given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of the Father's hand. I and the Father are one. So like Jesus is saying, if you truly belong to him, there's nothing no one can say outside of the faith of Christianity that will make you go in that direction. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what gender they are. I don't care how many people they got following them. I don't care anything about that. If you are truly a follower of Jesus Christ, if Christ is truly your king, if Jesus Christ is truly your king, and you are bowing down to him, you're following him, nothing will snatch you out of his hand. He will not lose you. He's saying this in John 10:26-30. And so if you don't believe this, then you don't believe the Bible. If you don't feel this in your heart and truly feel like this is the right direction I'm going in, if you're questioning your Christianity, then maybe you need to question your salvation. So when Kanye said he is a Christian, did he truly convert to Christianity, or was he feeling like maybe if I try Christianity, it will help me get to where I want to go faster than if I don't submit to Christianity?
I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. So I had to put my experience in this world, my experience with my children, my experience with other people, my experience with my account, my experience with my brand, and my experience with the level of music that I was dealing with in my own hands. Like a lot of times I just feel like in our society, in America, people, Christians, we depend on Jesus so much that we won't put the word in ourselves. And the main thing that really that I don't rock with is like, it's just always like, I'm gonna pray for you. And it's just like, you can actually physically do something.